If the world is like a big dual mirror and reflects back to us our relationship to it, how can we harness this mirror to draw to us, to create the life that we want? Well, we're going to talk more about that tonight. This is Tom Kieran with Be Something Wonderful Studio in San Diego, California, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Welcome back, guys. We're back with a lesson on reality transurfing, the mirror world, I'm calling this one. In our last lesson on reality transurfing, we talked about the first principle of reality transferring. The first principle says the world is like a mirror and reflects back your relationship to it. This ties right in to what we've been talking about in other spiritual teachings, right? On the science side, on quantum physics that we talked about using some of Joe Dispenza's teachings. And Neville Goddard using his teachings as God as your imagination, the Christ within you. And now Vadim Zeland in reality transurfing. And they all sort of take a different, they're all pointing in the same direction, but taking a slightly different bent on it. So the world is like a mirror. We talked about this, and I drew a mirror. I have it again for you. Here's the key. Here's the key with the mirror principle. So the world's like a big mirror, but not like a normal mirror that you have in the physical world. In the physical world, we look in a mirror and we see our reflection. That reflection is imaginary. That's in the alternative space. It doesn't exist in the physical world, right? And we are the image. In the mirror world, in the dual mirror, it's opposite. In the physical world, we are a reflection of our image that we're sending out to the alternative space. Now, Vadim calls it the alternative space. This is also called the quantum field, which we talked about in our episodes of Going Quantum. It's also greater consciousness, which we talk about really in general, that God consciousness. And then imagination, which Neville Goddard talks about, the God consciousness, the Christ within us. All the same, guys. It's that greater you. It's that inner being, that connection you have with that divinity, with that first source, the creator of all there is, was, or ever be. Same stuff. So whatever you're thinking or feeling, you're sending out an image in the alternative. You're creating an image, essentially, in alternative space. That image is then, with the dual mirror, exactly reflected back to you in physical reality. So whatever you're living right now is a result of your thoughts and feelings that you've sent out into alternative space, and that's been matched and an image created and reflected back to you. Yeah. How's the reflection formed? Well, that's the second mirror principle. Reflection is formed in the unity of heart and mind. That's what reflects, that's what manifests in physical reality. When you align your heart and mind. Now, we talked about this in terms of quantum physics, heart and minds, right? And thoughts and feelings. It's another way of saying aligning your thoughts and feelings. And we talked about it even in Neville Goddard's work, right? The same idea. Thinking from the end as opposed to thinking of it. And when you think from the end, you feel it. So the mirror principle 2, reflection is formed in the unity of heart and mind. This is what reality transurfing is saying as well. So what does that mean? Well, normally we unify in heart and mind of the things we don't want. We get very passionate about things we don't want. Even people, when they're talking about politics or different parties, and they seem to get very dug in and passionate about it. And that means they're aligning their heart and mind, and they're going to create an image that's going to be reflected back to them, whatever that is. So normally, we're very good at doing this with our worst. I talked about this, I think, yesterday. We're very good at creating our worst expectations. We're very good at aligning our heart and mind on the worst case scenarios. Why is that? Well, when we have ardent desires, we don't believe them. We don't believe we can accomplish them. We don't believe the good that is ours by definition, by inheritance. right? It's the good that we're supposed to revel in. The bad is what we're creating by unity of heart and mind. If you didn't put up all that resistance, if you didn't put all that stuff covering up your love, you wouldn't create all that, and you wouldn't have to have so much trouble getting unity of heart and mind. So maybe your mind, just like we talked about in going quantum, maybe your mind is thinking about something and you really want it, but your heart's not into it. Or your heart, your soul, really wants you to follow your passion, but there's doubt and fears that you're thinking about, right? So doubt and fears get in the way, and then you're not aligned. And what do you create? What Vadim says, your image gets blurry. It's like in quantum, when we talked about going quantum, it's like the wave that you're sending out, your signal was weak, right? Your signal was incoherent, is what we talked about in quantum. So it's the same idea. Here you're creating a blurry image. And when you create a blurry image, you get blurry back. This is why you always think you're still trying to reach your goals. You're still trying to get what you want in life. Why? Because you're not getting your heart and mind around it. You're letting fears seep in. You're letting what news channels feed you with information. Let others tell you can't get it done. It's impossible. All of that is, and then whatever other baggage you're carrying around, right? That I'm not worthy. That you feel guilty about things, or that you've got these fears inside. So we've got to get over all that. How do we do it? Well, here's the good news. When you don't have unity of heart and mind, which we don't normally for the things we want, because of doubt, because of fears, because of that unworthiness that we have learned, right? The image is blurred. So what can we do? Well, there's good news. You don't immediately create or manifest in physical reality that image. It's there. It's created. As I talked about, it's created. As soon as you have the thoughts and feelings out there is an image created. It's a blurry image, but you don't immediately get it back. There's a delay in the reaction of the dual mirror. This is the good news. There's a delay because we're in physical reality. This inert nature of physical reality. It's a lower vibration, not like the higher vibration of the alternative space, the infinite field. So what can we do? Because there's a delay, we can work on lining up our heart and mind. And Vadim calls them slides. And I'm going to get into that in our future lessons on reality transurfing. But slides, the idea of slides is, when he says slides, it's like a film slide in your life. And you create the image that you want the desire of the image in detail. It's the same as Neville is talking about in terms of wishes fulfilled and thinking from the end, creating the image in your head, in your imagination, and then that will come into your physical reality. This is the same idea. And Vadim calls it a slide. And we're rolling negative slides in our head, rolling those around, like worst case scenarios and not getting our desires. We've got to replace those negative slides with positive slides, actually seeing us in that desired position, seeing us in our future hope and future desire, actually thinking from the end, as Neville will say. And reality transurfing calls it slides, and there's a very logical approach to hit that. So we'll talk about that in our next reality transurfing lesson. We've hit the first three principles. The first one is the world's like a mirror. It reflects your relationship to it. It's a big mirror, guys. It works the opposite of a normal mirror. Remember, we are the reflection. What we try to do, what slows us down? We try to wrestle our reflection. We try to change physical reality. You've got to get at the image. That's what you got to change, your thoughts and feelings, what you're projecting out to the universe. That's where the change is made. Once you change that, then comes back to you in the physical reality. So the reflection is formed in the unity of heart and mind. You've got to get your heart and mind, your thoughts and feelings lined up. They've got to be in sync, aligned. Just like we talked about going quantum, just like we talked about with Neville and really other spiritual teachers. They're all saying the same thing, right? But just in different ways. The third principle, there is a delay in physical reality. We've learned this from law of attraction teachers. Cause and effect, there's a delay. So we're going to talk about what to do, and we're going to talk about the idea they called slides. And normally, like a film slide, right? It's a picture. It's something that we want in our life, right? That fits in. And we'll talk more about this. But normally we're rolling around negative slides, right? Even think about your self-talk. So we're going to get a hold of that, guys. That's all I have right now. Until our next lesson, this is Tom Kieran with the Be Something Wonderful studio of Higher Consciousness in San Diego, California, where we help you level up and become that higher version of yourself. Guys, don't forget to subscribe. It's a caricature of me. Just hit that, or anytime through the video in the lower right-hand corner, a little Be Something Wonderful in red. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. And like it and comment. That's how we get the word out. That's how we spread the Be Something Wonderful news. Yeah? That we are creators and we can do this. Okay, guys, until next time, this is Tom. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.